tell us more about Bhishma and what's happening in the narrative.
So Bishna is the crown prince. He's the definition of what you would call the people's champion. Okay. He was basically very well educated in every art, political, and how to rule. As a warrior, he was second to none. Absolutely none. Okay? There's nobody on earth that could rival him in his youth in particular. He was the ideal choice to be a king. And that for various reasons that doesn't quite work out, which you can read in the book. He's a very tragic individual. And as the story develops, later into the Mahabharata, when we get towards the war and stuff like that, you can see that he makes this particular vow, and it may make sense it may make somewhat of sense in the early days, but sometimes that truth, time can distort even truth, what the right thing to do is. Because later on, it'll be questioned, did Bhishma do the right thing there? He then forms a relationship, a mother-son relationship with Satyavati.
The intimacy they are sharing, I mean, it's completely platonic, and
Yes, yes.
it's the respect, the intimacy, and it's almost this tragedy.
Just reiterate, it's a platonic intimacy, but it's basically like a burden that they shared, basically, right? And had to navigate together. So to me, this is the emotional spine of the book, in my opinion. Prior to Shantanu being king, prior to that,
Yeah.
their ancestor was King Bharat, which India is named after. It's India's Bharat. Why was he named king? Because he didn't give any of his own children the kingdom. He gave it to somebody else that was worthy of it. The relationship between Vyas and with Satyavati,
Yes.
that I found the most difficult to write about. I've said that a few times, but I really mean that. There's very little information about the two of them prior to him coming to Hastinapur. She gave birth to him. She gave him up to a sage where he was raised. He was obviously a Mahatma, meaning he was a very great soul, like the terminology used with Gandhi.
Yeah.
And in many sources, actually, he's known as Bhagwan Vyas. I think that if people, the readers need to be careful that what they're reading is checking how much creative freedom it's taken. The Satyavati is taken as little as possible. Okay, there's one character called Salati who I added into the book, I've made up because I needed somebody to see things, but she wasn't there.